Angel is getting on my last nerve. She is fake as fuck. Let's go ahead and break it all down in today's recap.
But I'll be on it always, always.
Hey queens, welcome back to my queen cave. My name is Shelby, queen of the queen cave, and in here I drop recaps and reviews of my favorite TV shows and movies, commentary on any topics I find interesting, and deep dives into Black history, Black culture, and icons that helped shape that culture. If that is your vibe, hit the subscribe, you already know the deal. Today we are recapping The Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 10, Episode 4, Sunshine and Sex. Picking up from the last episode where they were at dinner, Ashley is trying to expose, quote, Stacy for trying to talk to Chris Samuels. Stacy goes, I adore him, we're really good friends, we have mutual friends, he's a good father, X, Y, and Z. And Ashley's over here trying to question her, like, how do you know all these things about him? Like, how did this friendship come about? And I'm wondering why Ashley cares so much. It's like, Ashley, this is not tea. This is not anything, especially because we already know Stacy got back together with her husband, but Ashley doesn't know that at this point. Ashley then says that Chris is going around telling everybody that she tried to get at him, kind of like a gossiping type of thing. And Stacy goes, well, I mean, I would take that as a compliment. And Angel pipes in and she goes, he's not like that. He wouldn't be doing all that. And then in her confessional, she says that her husband and Chris Samuels had a relationship when he got transferred to, I think, the college that he was at or something like that, and he was more of like a big brother type of mentor figure to her husband. And then she goes, that's the extent of it. And I'm thinking, if that is the extent of the relationship, how are you able to then speak on his character and say he's not like that, to go around gossiping, saying that Stacey's trying to get at him? Let's just go ahead and pipe down Angel, because literally nobody asked. Next, Ashley then tells Stacy, you should be focusing on yourself instead of trying to expose Jazelle and getting all in her business. Stacy then drops the bomb, quote, that she got back together with her ex-husband, and that has Ashley stunned. Her face is cracked and she has nothing to say. She's literally on mute because she didn't even know what was going on with Stacy this whole time, and she's thinking that she dug up some, quote, dirt on Stacy. And it's like, even if that was the case, how is this tea? How is this like, ooh, let me go back and make it seem like Stacy is trying to do something sneaky? It's like, Stacy says she does not know Monique. She's never met her. She would love to, but she owes Monique nothing. So just because you guys are friends with Monique does not mean that Stacy, just because she's now in this group, owes Monique a damn thing. So this was a flop regardless. And Stacy, in her confessional, she says that she's living her best life and she is not worried about Jazelle or Ashley, so they can go ahead and go that way. And back at the table, she says, you guys want me to be somebody else that I'm not so bad. You're just going to have to accept me for who I am. And here goes Angel out of nowhere. Once again, nobody asked. She goes, oh yeah, Stacy, I can relate to that too. With an attitude, and she rolls her eyes. And again, nobody says anything about it. Nobody addresses the issue. They just carry on because we don't give a damn, Angel. You already burned the bridges a long time ago after you came at Wendy sideways for no reason because she called you out on something that you actually did say about your so good friend Keiarna while you guys were going back and forth with the chin checking comments. So please let it be known what the deal is and why you were trying to have this passive aggressive response that nobody asked for. Okay, next.
Child. Anyway,
So the girls get back to the villa and they have a little celebration set up for Wendy's birthday. They have cake and Kiana's in there. She sings happy birthday to Wendy. And then once they sit down to try to cut the cake and talk and XYZ, she now says that she's too tired and she leaves to go back to her own villa, which I'm not surprised. She doesn't like Wendy. They're back and forth. Anyway, in her confessional, she says that she's just so tired of the issues she has with Wendy. Jazzy's being messy by trying to expose what she said behind Wendy's back, and she's so upset about the comments that were made about Angel being a catfish. So because of all those reasons, she wants to distance herself and go off to her own villa. Who gives a damn, Keiarna? We're not missing you anyway. Thank you so much for the wet blanket, showing herself out before we have to do it for her. Next, so now Ashley is playing this game of 21 questions, if you will. She's asking Wendy if she's ever been sexually attracted to a woman, and then she asks Jazzy if she believes there's been any infractions between her and Darius's relationship pertaining to cheating. And she says that in the past, yes, there has been cheating, but she does not currently believe there's any cheating going on.
Right.
And Ashley has all of this to say about the relationship in her confessional, as if it really matters. Who gives a fuck, Ashley? That has nothing to do with you, has nothing to do with us. It is so irrelevant. We do not give a fuck. Why are you so invested in her relationship? Is it because you lack having a relationship with somebody? You want to be in everyone else's business? It just seems like, once again, for another straight season, you lack a storyline. So the only thing you're going to do the entire season is peer and pry into everyone else's business. It is so old. It is so tired. We are tired of you. I'm so confused as to why Ashley still is on the show. Like, if we're going to be real, she brings absolutely zero, zilch, nothing to the show. What is she adding other than just having another body on the cast? I feel like, along with Keiarna and Angel, they can be seeing the boot. Next, Wendy then asked Angel if she could kill anyone in the group, who would it be? And Angel says that she would kill Jazelle because of the catfish comments that she made. She then stands up and says, "I'm that motherfucker." Wow. It's just so interesting why she has all of this energy. Now all of a sudden she's that bitch. I can't be touched. I'm unfuckwittable. All this extra shit type of energy. You do not display that, Angel, on a continuous basis. It really honestly seems, if we're going to be real, you act completely different when Keiarna is not in the room. And Wendy later points that out in her confessional. When Keiarna's not around, you actually want to get to know the girls. You're more open. You're more bubbly with your personality. But when Keiarna's around, you have this dark cloud over you. Now you're so closed off. You have this attitude. And it's just fucking weird. It's like, can we see who the real Angel is? Because you're always crying about how the girls aren't trying to get to know you. They're not giving you a fair chance, quote. And you flip-flop back and forth when it best serves you, when it best makes you feel or look the best. Like, it's just so fake all around. So Jazelle then ends the night, tells the girls it's time for us to get things closed off. We have a lot of things planned for tomorrow, so we'll just meet up tomorrow. So the girls are over here giving each other hugs and good night, have a good night, X, Y, and Z. Angel, let's go ahead and put a note there. Yeah, Angel is one of the main people going around hugging everybody. There's good vibes, high-fiving X, Y, and Z. So we're going to revisit this later down the line of the episode, but let's just make a note here. She is okay with the girls. She's hugging them. There are good vibes. Everything seems like it's being squashed. So we'll come back to that later on. So now it's the next morning and Keiarna and Angel are in the kitchen and Angel's expressing to Keiarna she's feeling really disappointed in Jazelle because of all the comments she's been making about her being a catfish and how that's been a big topic in the group. And Jazelle then enters into the kitchen and she can immediately tell the vibes are off. And then Keiarna says that we've actually been talking about you right now and not in the best way. And Giselle's like, okay, like what's up? And she tells her that Angel needs to talk to her. So she now leaves. It's just Angel and Jazelle in the kitchen. And Angel starts to cry and Giselle's like, are you crying, Angel? What's going on? So now Angel's over here telling her, like, I didn't like how you made those comments about me being a catfish. It really upset me and it really hurt me because I used to be a red carpet broadcaster or host or interviewer or whatever she said. And she's like, my appearance was a really big thing for me. So for you to now comment about me and about my body and how I look X, Y, and Z, it's just really hurting my feelings. And she's like, I do a lot for my kids. She went into this whole like soapbox spiel about how she's there for her kids, X, Y, and Z. And it's like, I didn't understand it was this big of an issue. Like, I'm thinking that Jazelle is only talking about how your face looks in the photo. Like, can anyone else agree? Like, when you first saw that photo, you did not know who the fuck that was. Like, I didn't know that was Angel. I literally thought that was one of Tia's daughters. And they said that was Angel. And I'm like, that looks nothing like you. So that's all everyone is saying. You look completely different. You now want to spin this into a body shaming thing, making it seem like everyone is saying like you are a lot bigger in person than you were in that photo. I'm assuming from her perspective. And I'm just like, and then she wanted to turn that into, oh, I'm a mom, I just gave birth, X, Y, and Z. And Jazelle wants to make it clear in her confessional, I was only talking about her face. So I don't know why we got onto the topic of now about her being a mom and she just gave birth and X, Y, and Z. It's like, we're not talking about your body. We're talking about your face. Your face, everything about your face looks nothing like you. Like, that's all this is about. So we can stop with the whole, you want to flip it onto now we're talking about your body. No one's talking about your body. It just seems like now you're projecting a lot of your insecurities. If we're just going to be real, and if that's the case, that's fine. Be honest about that with yourself. Don't sit over here and now make it an issue and make it seem like Jazelle is talking about your body, because in my opinion, that's nowhere near what she was talking about. And that's not what I was thinking. When I first saw her, it was just her face, which is only in the picture. So let's go ahead and make that make sense, Angel. Jazelle apologizes to her and tells her, I didn't mean it that way. I was just talking about your face. It looks different than who you are in person. That's all I was trying to say. She tries to give her a hug, and Angel's like, no, I don't want a hug right now. I'm good. I need some space. And Giselle's like, okay. Anyway, and now Angel has this attitude, and she's over here upset. She's still crying, and I'm like, this is really interesting, because when they had that whole thing last night, none of this was a factor. You were not expressing you were upset. You made it seem like you were moving past it. Everything was good and kosher. And now all of a sudden, because you slept, oh my gosh. Later on in the episode, she says she slept on it and now she's upset about it.
That's true.
It's like, what? You know how you feel when the moment happens. You don't just automatically you don't just sleep on something that you experienced and now you decide you're mad. What? I don't understand that. It's like you were upset when the time happened. You just didn't have the balls to say it in front of everyone because you knew they were going to get on your ass because of how back and forth you are with your emotions and how you don't communicate. One moment you're in their face, everything is cool, and now when you get around Keiarna, things are different. Like, are you going to be your own woman? Or are you going to be up Keiarna's ass? Please pick one. The girls then meet by the pool for breakfast, and Jazelle tells Keiarna that she did speak to Angel, and Angel was really upset. She was crying about the whole situation. Keiarna and Ashley then step to the side so they can talk privately. And Keiarna tells Ashley she went to bed early last night because she was really irritated with the whole catfish drama with Angel and the girls talking about her, and she was really annoyed with Jazzy and how she was trying to expose her for talking behind Wendy's back. And back to the other girls, Stacy makes a point that it was real rude that Keiarna left the night early when they were trying to celebrate Wendy for her birthday. And Wendy then piggybacks off of that, and she goes, Keiarna is just exposing how she was really never her friend, and that's just making it real clear to her at this point. And back to Keiarna, Ashley, and now Angel. Ashley is asking Angel if she's okay, how are you doing? And Angel tells her, like, yeah, I'm a lot better now. I talked to my husband about it. We get a flashback of her conversation with him, and he's really annoyed that the girls are making all these comments about Angel being a catfish, and he says that they should just pull up all the old pictures of all the girls and see if they're catfishes too. And I'm just like, okay. Like, it's not really that big of a deal. I'm really wondering why you care so much, Angel. And in her confessional, she says, the only person that should care about who I look like is me. My husband loves it, so that's all that matters. And I'm thinking, if that's the case, why do you give a fuck so bad that they're talking about how differently you look in your photos? Like, if anything, that's just their opinion. Like, you should chalk it up as their opinion. You should not give a damn about what these people's opinions are. So for you to be this upset about it and then say in your confessional, oh, the only person that should care about it or the only person that it matters to is me and my husband, you're really not showing that in your actions here, but I guess. And then she says that her husband was about to come on a private jet to come get her. And I'm like, okay, Angel, I don't care. We don't care. We didn't ask. Next! And now back to the other girls, and Jazelle fills in the girls on the conversation that she had with Angel, and now she was crying and she was so upset about the catfish comments. And Tia makes a point that she thought they squashed everything the night before when they were all having a good time and vibing out and celebrating Wendy's birthday. So now for her to switch up and act like they never talked about it is real suspect.
That's suspicious. That's weird.
Wendy again piggybacks off of that, making the point that Angel acts a lot differently when Keiarna is not around, and it is consistently the two of them that is the reason why the group is always having all these issues. So the group agrees that Angel and Keiarna are currently the problem of the group. The sad sisters, as Wendy calls it. Girls get into the Sprinter van. They're on their way to Alexander Hamilton Museum, I think it is, with their tour guide Kenny. And he got a little jam with them, a little song on the way over there. And Wendy throws some shade at Ashley. And she says that she needs to take singing lessons from Kenny. I'm thinking, ooh. Yeah, because Ashley's singing is real tone deaf, off key, and ear bleeding. So that was a good tip from Wendy. The girls arrive to the museum. They get a rundown on Alexander Hamilton's upbringing, his creation of the U.S. financial system, and his death. And Wendy makes a snarky comment, and she goes, yeah, that's how friendships go sometimes. They stab you in the back, shoot you in the face, and kill you dead when you don't even expect it. And I'm like, okay, are we talking about someone specifically, Wendy? And of course, in her confessional, Keiarna picks up the shade, and she thinks that Wendy should just be upfront and honest about whatever she wants to talk about instead of being all passive aggressive. And I'm thinking, wow, that's so interesting you say that, because you don't follow your own advice. You do all this talking, all this beating around the bush when it comes down to Wendy and really telling her what the real issue is that you have with her. And then per Jazzy, you talk behind her back. So I don't think you should be the one talking about this at all, Keiarna. But next, the girls cannot decide if Alexander Hamilton is black or not. So they say he's like a little bit of Creole based off of his mom being half or mixed or something like that. So they decide in their minds he's black of some sort. But from the research I gathered, it says it could not be proven that he was black because both of his parents had white, like, heritage, whatever. So I'm just like, that wasn't proven from what I gathered, but in their minds he's black. So now Tia's asking Angel if she's okay after hearing what Jazelle told her, that she was upset with the catfish comments. Angel tells her she's okay, she's still processing everything. Now Tia tries to defend Angel, and she's like, I understand, you know, you just had a baby, we've all had kids. And Jazzy is like, hold up, you were saying this morning you were thinking the exact same thing about her being a catfish, so what is all this about? And Tia's like, well, yeah, I was thinking it, but I wouldn't have said it the way that Jazelle did. And I'm like, just fake as fuck. Just fake, because you were not saying that 5 minutes ago at the breakfast when everyone else was talking about it. You were saying, oh yeah, I think the same way. You didn't say, oh, I would have said it differently. You were just saying, oh yeah, I agree. Like, Tia, you are just as fake as the rest of them. Next. Jazzy then says she and the rest of the girls can see that her energy is much different when she's not around Keiarna. Like last night, she was all bubbly, she was excited, she was happy, and now that Keiarna's around, that whole thing is just the complete opposite. And now Angel tries to say that she wasn't bubbly, she was annoyed, and if you knew her, you would realize that she wasn't in a good mood. I'm sorry. You were doing all this laughing, joking, high-fiving, I'm that motherfucker, I'm that bitch, all this extra shit, laughing with the girls, having a grand old time. We're supposed to dissect that means you're annoyed? What? You cannot make this shit up. It is getting so ridiculous to the point where you have to laugh about it. It's like, are we watching the same thing? We can see what happened on the footage. You're gonna tell us watching that, we're supposed to dissect that you are annoyed? Angel, please get the fuck on. Please get her off the show. That way, I don't want to see her over here anymore. Like, this is ridiculous. This is gaslighting to the max. Gaslighting to the max. You're not going to tell us that that's supposed to mean that you are in a bad mood. You did not like it. You were annoyed. You did not express that not one time with the girls. So Jazzy in her confessional is confused. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? That's not what you showed last night. Your personality is also a catfish, and I would agree with that. We then get a flashback to Angel going back to her villa after the girls wrapped up the night. She really goes back to Keiarna and makes it seem like she didn't have this whole moment with the girls 5 seconds ago of them laughing and having a good time. She tells Keiarna, I'm not gonna keep being nice with them. I'm not playing that game anymore. I don't fuck with them. The only person I'm cool with is you. Wow. I cannot wait until the girls see this footage at the end of the season to see how truly fake and phony as fuck you were to their face the entire season. This is crazy. So the girls now get back to their villa. They're sitting down, they're chatting, and Wendy makes the announcement she wants the girls to get back on the topic of talking about Jazelle after Ashley came in to be a Captain Save-A-Ho and change the topic off of Jazelle and bring it on to Stacy. Ashley goes, well, Wendy, you were trying to point the finger at Jazelle. I wanted to step in to defend her. And Stacy's like, well, you guys have all been pointing the finger at me since I got in the group. So what about that? And Ashley's like, well, you're a lying liar who lies, Stacy. So sorry. Saying that she lied about the whole Chris Samuels topic. And Wendy's like, oh, wait. Here we go again, diverting off of the topic. We're getting back to Jazelle. So now we get back on to the Jazelle topic. And Wendy says she just likes seeing Jazelle squirm in the hot seat. So that's why she's really trying to press the issue on this. Jazelle finally starts to open up to the girls a little bit. And she explains that she just realized she had to start being serious about her future and her finding a good man that she can really connect with. And she just brings back the conversation she had with her dad, who told her to get someone that she can be really comfortable around. So her dating what's the guy named Sean or whatever, she says that Sean is comfortable for her right now, and one of her daughters has met Sean. So as of right now, things are going good. Wendy says she can see that she's happy, she's genuinely happy for her, and she calls them friends. And in her confessional, Jazelle appreciates Wendy's speech and she does consider them as friends at this point, which was really good to hear, because I'm like, this whole time you guys been going back and forth, finally it's actually starting to seem, in my opinion, that it's sincere between like a friendship between the two of them. And I feel like they work well as friends, a lot better than going back and forth, of course. So I'm glad that Jazelle and Wendy can finally have some sort of common ground and actually be cordial and now come to a friendship. So that's cool for them. Angel makes the comment that her husband sent her some money for her to go shopping, says that he sent her $5,000, and Stacy asks if he does that on the regular. And Angel's like, yeah, he does that all the time. And in her confessional, Jazelle is like, we hear way more about your husband, Angel, than we do about you. We want to hear more about you, not your husband. And I'm thinking I agree with that, because we do hear a lot about Angel's husband. And there's nothing wrong with her bragging about her husband. I'm just saying it just seems like she uses that as her whole like personality, if you will. Like that's really the main thing that we hear about is her husband. Like she's constantly in her husband's shadow, and that's like her main like, well, I have this, so now what? I don't know if she uses that to make herself seem interesting just because her husband is in the NFL and she brings that up at every opportunity. Her husband's been in the league for 10 years. She's a wag, X, Y, and Z. It's like that's all we know about Angel for the most part. Like that's all she talks about. Can we know about who you as an individual are away from your husband and away from Keiarnas, since you're always crying about we don't get to know you when you're not open, like the girls aren't open to getting to know you, X, Y, and Z. This is the reason why, because you don't talk about anything other than your husband, other than your kids, other than anything that has nothing to do with you as an individual, away from a wife and a mom and whatever else. Like that's what the girls want to know. Like they get it. You're a wife, you're a mom. We see that. Great. What else now? She then asked Tia if her husband travels with her a lot, and Tia says they don't travel a lot. Then Wendy asks her how they met, and she gives us a rundown saying that they met in, I think she said Camden Town in London. She says the area was very dodgy. And then she says that it was a lot for her to go through because that's his name, Ken? Rob. She explained she went through a lot of pushback with her family since her husband is not Nigerian, and they're very strict in their culture on marrying other Nigerian people. So there's a lot of cultural differences between the two of them, especially with their kids. She explains that her kids don't have the same respect level as they should if they were raised in Nigeria. And she says that her husband, Rob, doesn't find a problem with it. He thinks it's more normalized for her kids to kind of talk back to her in a way. For example, they have a flashback of Tia with her daughter, and Tia's asking her daughter if she can borrow her lip gloss. And her daughter says, no, bro. And Tia's like, I'm not bro, I'm mommy. And I'm like, that right there is confusing. Why are you calling your mom bro? And I guess that proves her point, what she's talking about, that her husband thinks that's okay, but she doesn't. And I agree with Tia. I would be like, I don't know who you're talking to, but I'm not your friend. So I understand where she's coming from on that. The girls then head to the market to go shopping, and Wendy is starting to not feel good. She says she got this bug, this flu of sorts, so she's not feeling too well, and she's not going to be feeling well for the rest of the episode. So some of the girls are gathered around, and Angel makes a comment that she sexed her husband, or she sent him sex to see what his reaction was going to be. Something like that. And now Stacy is joining in. She's trying to send her ex-husband, now husband, the same thing. And her husband is so confused. He's like, you want sex? You're having sex? Like, what is this? And she sends a photo of her to him and says, sex with you. Like, I want to have sex with you. And he says, get this. He says, you must have the wrong number. You have the wrong number? What? And now everyone is trying to clown Stacey, and Stacey trying to cover her ass, talking about oh, he's German, his sense of humor is different. No, girl, it seems like he just doesn't like you. It seems like he does not want you, because anyone else, like, for example, Angel's husband didn't talk about some wrong number. Like, hello? You know what you're talking. I think that was so embarrassing. The girls were clowning Stacey bad, and she tries to go ahead and cover up like, oh, it was a joke. He was joking. Girl, he wasn't joking. I don't think he likes you. And at the end of the shopping trip, they get a steel drum lesson. It looks real fun. They're over there on the drums having a great old time. And Wendy musters up the strength to go over there and enjoy some time with them. So they end up on a good note. So now we get to the evening dinner, and Wendy is now bedridden. She's real sick now. She can't even get up. Jazelle and Stacey go in there, bring her some liquids, some water, ginger ale, Gatorade, all the works. Make sure she's okay. But right now, she's not feeling it. She has a sick flu, a bug, whatever, and she's not going to make it to dinner. So as the girls sit down for dinner, the chef comes out and he tells them that he wants to make sure they have the best experience. He's going to cook for them personally. He gives them all the killer bee shots. They have a grand old time. And as he leaves, unprovoked, Angel goes, will I also be on the menu this evening again? And I'm thinking, see, that's how the door opens for the girls to get on your ass, because you're asking for it. No one said anything about that. You are saying that out of your own mouth for no reason. And Jazelle goes, I don't know, the night is young. And I'm like, exactly. We have plenty of time, Angel, to get on your ass. So if you want that, the time will come. And Angel's like, well, I'm ready this time. I'm ready. Let's go. And I'm thinking, you say that now, but later on, you're going to be crying about it to Kiana, and later on tomorrow, you slept on it. Now you're pissed off, and it's a whole issue again. So you, on one hand, are asking for these problems, and then when the problems come to you, you're going to cry about it. Just sit down, Angel, be a friend of in the background, and we won't have these problems. Jazelle then tells Kiana that Wendy told her she was real hurt about her not staying around to celebrate her birthday. And Kiana says that, well, I left because I was tired, and I was real hurt for my friend. And I'm thinking, you were so hurt for your friend, you left, but your friend that was being attacked so bad stayed with the girls that hurt her so bad. So why does that make sense that you left, but she didn't? Ashley then pipes in and she goes, well, at least Angel was able to stick around and have that moment with the rest of the girls. And Jazzy goes, well, wait, because at the market, Angel let me know she actually didn't have a good time and she was annoyed the whole time, which has everyone else confused, like, what? That wasn't what she was making it seem like last night. Where'd that come from? Angel tries to explain that she was still trying to process what happened with the girls last night. That's why she didn't show it, quote. She slept on it and now she decided that she was pissed off about it, which doesn't make any sense. If you are upset about something, you feel any type of way, you feel that in the moment. You don't just click on the button and say, well, I'm not feeling any type of way about it right now, I'm cool with the girls, and then you click the button off when you slept on it and now you're mad about it. Like, it's so childish. Please grow the fuck up, Angel, and open your fucking mouth. If you feel some type of way, say it at that time. Don't sit over here and play in the girl's face like you're cool, and then you slept on it, and now you're upset the next day. Like, what the fuck is all that? Tia then says, well, if I filtered myself a lot, I would want someone to just tell me. And Jazzy looks over to her and says, well, I'm gonna let you know right now, you do filter yourself a lot, Tia. And Tia's like, okay, that's fine, I'll accept that. And I'm thinking, that's literally all it should be. It should not be that big of a deal. It's someone's opinion. Again, at the end of the day, who gives a damn? Keiarna then said she appreciates Jazelle for telling her that Wendy was upset that she didn't stay for the celebration because Wendy's doing all this nonchalant acting like she doesn't give a damn about her at all. So she was happy to hear about that. But then she said she was still upset that Jazzy was making the comment about her talking about Wendy behind her back and how she felt about that, especially with her bringing it up while they're in such a bad space. Jazzy then calls Keiarna a hypocrite because she used the conversations they had in private as ammo to throw in her face when they were going back and forth. So she's like, okay, what about that? Could we take some accountability on you doing the same thing you're now calling me out for? And Keiarna goes, well, I was just saying the truth. Jazzy says, of course you dish it, but you can't take it. I think you're actually jealous of me. And then she said that she lied on her, saying that her fiance had 2 babies on her, which we've already gone down the timeline, Jazzy. It was sounding real suspect on how you came in the picture, but anyway, Keiarna then in her confessional says that she did like Jazzy a lot in the beginning, but was told by Jacqueline, of all people, that Jazzy told her that Keiarna was a snake, and since then she's been hurt by Jazzy and they haven't been cool. And I'm thinking, Jacqueline, the same person that bonked you over the head, Jacqueline, you're talking about her? Or please tell me it's somebody else. You're not going to tell me that person that assaulted you, that you pressed charges on, you're taking what they say as face value and not just asking Jazzy to her face? What the fuck? That's what I'm saying. Just fake as fuck. You want to talk about something, you're so real, you're not fake or phony. You are. Because that must have been said a long time ago. Jacqueline has not been on the show for a while, eons, since the whole assault thing happened. Even before then, she hadn't been on the show consistently. So this seems like it happened a while ago. And it seems like you never brought that to Jazzy's attention while you're trying to sit over here and do all this, I'm so real and I'm not fake. Oh my gosh. Keiarna she's so exhausting. It's all over the place, back and forth. Please take her off the show. Let this be the last time we see her on the season, because this is just so all over the place. You're talking about Jacqueline. Okay. We haven't even heard Jacqueline's name in the longest time. So yeah. Let's just go ahead and skip on it, because saying anything else is wasting our breath. Keiarna doesn't know what she wants to be. She's up and down, back and forth, flip-flop. We don't want to hear anything about her. Next, Jazzy says to Keiarna she regrets how she reacted to her, but she does not want to negate the fact that she came at her sideways for simply exposing what she herself said about Wendy behind her back. And then in her confessional, she says basically, Keiarna told her not to trust Wendy. And she says that the timing that she told her, around the time that she told her, would be even more devastating to Wendy, indicating that they probably were in a really good space while Keiarna told her that. So it's going to be really interesting to see what Wendy has to say about this when it's exposed, hopefully in the next episode. But this episode, I feel, was good. I feel like we're getting heated up. We're finally getting into some new drama here. Again, I don't want to hear anything else about Angel or Keiarna. They are the fakest, phony ass bitches on the cast. One moment Angel wants to be excited by the girls, the next she wants to be up Kiana's ass, the next she's crying about the whole catfish thing, the next she's past it, she's good to go, we're all kosher, we're all good. And then Keiarna, the same thing, she's not fake, she's not phony, but she's talking about Wendy behind her back and forth when they were supposed to be friends. It's just all over the place. It's not even fun anymore. It's like, why are we still talking about these people on the show? They give nothing. If we want to be so real, neither one of them have storylines. The only reason why they're here is to cause drama of some sorts. As Wendy said, it's the only 2 of them that cause the drama consistently. They're the main ones with the issue. So we shall see how these next episodes fare out for the 2 of them. Hopefully, you know what? We're going to give Angel some sort of grace in some aspect, because she is brand new to the show. We want to give her a real chance to get away from Keiarna and have her own space to really get to know the girls on an individual level. So we're going to see how that pans out going forward and see if this is going to change anytime soon. I want to know how you felt about the episode in the comments down below. If you did like this video, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!